We tend to presume that students are either off task or they're on task. And because of that, we tend to operate certain ways. And we're going to suggest that during seat work, if we took a camera and put it up on the ceiling of your classroom, and it was a video, and we took a video of you moving around the room physically during seat work, then we took that camera and replayed it for you in a fast-forward mode. You would see yourself going to certain students, putting them from off task to what you think is on task, going to another student, and then you go right back to the original student. You have 4 to 6 students that you end up spending 80% of your time with. Give me head nods if that makes sense.
Yes.
Come on.
Yep.
Those are the students we're going to cover on Wednesday and Thursday. What we're doing right now is to understand from your side what you're doing in terms of management. If you go fast forward, you'll see yourself going from one to the other, and it's like dot to dot. Now, when we were kids and we had dots on a page and they had numbers next to them, when you finished drawing it, it made sense. This doesn't make sense at all. And what we're doing is we're presuming you're either off task or you're on task. And we say if they're not off, they must be on. So stay in your groups of 3. And what you're going to do is, would one volunteer as a teacher in groups of 3? Hand. 1 hand. Each group of 3, hand. So that person is going to be the teacher. And all you're going to do is you're going to come over and you're going to have a student who's off task. You're going to come over and you say, now get to work, get to work. Immediately turn and pretend you're walking to the other one. But you have to take a little moment. Then get here, they're off task. Come on, you're doing fine. Come on, you can do this. Then pretend you're walking back. And all you're going to do is go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Now the question is going to become, well, what are they doing? If they were off task and they're no longer off task, where are they? We're going to say that the teacher acts as if they must be on task. And the secret is, nope, there's a place in between called neutral. And what the students are literally doing is this. They never went on task. And so the speed with which you move, like the last week before summer vacation, the speed with which you move going around the room actually exacerbates the situation. You increase the dot to dot. Because your speed of moving around the room is exactly, oh yeah, okay, okay. Whether it be negative or positive, if you move fast, you shake up the productivity of seat work. You're like a boat going through water with a wake behind it. You see them kind of bob as you go by. So we're going to do it wrong. Go dot, walk, to dot, walk. Now, the person playing the student, this is so easy. Larry, would you come up for a second? Larry's the teacher over here. And this is what we want the student part to do. So Larry's going to come over in just a second, and I'm going to be fooling around. He's going to tell me to get to work or whatever. Then he's going to leave. Now watch what I do.
Okay, you need to get to work now.
Watch it again. All you do is hold your breath. Kids as low as 2nd grade have learned to do this. Watch again.
Okay, come on now, let's get to work.
So all you're going to do as the 2 students, thank you, Larry, is you're going to hold your breath when the teacher comes. It's called educational shuck and jive. Just hold your breath. The teacher's got to leave because there's other dots to go to. If they hold their breath, the best you can get them to be is neutral. It sounds so easy.
Yeah.
All we're going to say is wait until they finally breathe. And almost all of them eventually do. When they breathe, 3 out of 4 times they go on task. Not neutral, they go literally on task. So all you have to do is be patient. Now, the what about is, well, what about the other 5 kids I'm trying to put on? I understand. I'm just saying, on those occasions, when you have the time, you're going to save time. Otherwise, if you're just going dot to dot, know that you are not increasing the productivity of those 6 people or of the rest of the class. Just know that. And there are days where you go, you know, I'm really not a teacher. I'm babysitting. I understand that. I understand that. But those days when you know you have the option, this is how you go about doing it. You've got to be patient. So watch Larry as he comes up to Calvin and Hobbes at this point.
Michael, get back to work.
Now stay. You stay while they go on task. Why? Remember what we learned the other day about momentum? Momentum is when something is in motion, it stays in motion. Doggone it, the Phoenix Suns never got any momentum going. Something in motion tends to stay in motion. Something at rest tends to stay at rest. So when Larry does his hand, and he waits patiently until I finally breathe, and I go on task, you still have to wait a little bit longer. So let the momentum set in that I'm on task. Now he can leave, and I'll tend to stay on task.